Did you fall in love with someone? Or did you fall in love with who you hoped they'd be? If you're being really honest, you might not have fallen in love with a person. You fell in love with a fantasy. And this truth can be brutal, but it's also sets you free. When someone comes into our life and reflects back a piece of our deepest desire, to be loved, to be chosen, to be rescued, the fantasy takes hold. You're not just seeing them, you're seeing a version of them that lines up perfectly with what you need to feel whole. That version might not be real at all. This is called projective identification, where you project missing pieces of yourself onto another person and then identify them as your source of fulfillment. But here's the twist. They didn't become that person. You just needed them to be that. Fantasy love feels powerful because it's built on hope, not reality. You're hoping they'll change, hoping they'll grow, hoping they'll finally give you what they hinted at in the beginning. And hope becomes addictive. But hope can be a drug when it's tied to fantasy. It keeps you stuck, waiting, shrinking yourself. I'd like you to imagine walking into a house of mirrors. You see reflections everywhere, and for a moment it feels magical, beautiful, like you found the person who finally gets you. But here's the thing, the mirror isn't them, it's you. You're seeing your own dreams, needs, and insecurities reflected back. And if you're not careful, you'll build an entire relationship around a person who only ever existed in your imagination. You overlook red flags. You explain away emotional unavailability. You cling to crumbs and call them connection. You remember the potential more than the pattern. You hold on to what they said they'd become instead of accepting what they've already shown you they are. Here's the truth. The moment you stop arguing with reality, you start healing. Love isn't fantasy. Love is reality. It's how someone shows up day after day. It's emotional safety, not emotional highs. Falling in love with a fantasy is a sign that you've lost touch with your own reality. Somewhere inside, you believe that your needs were too much, that you had to accept less, that love meant suffering, sacrifice, or chasing. So how do you stop falling for the fantasy? Firstly, reality check your memories. Write down the top 5 moments they truly showed up for you versus the moments you wish they had. The difference will tell you everything. Then, stop making excuses. The version of them that exists in your head is not the one standing in front of you. See what's real. Call it what it is. Thirdly, meet your own needs. First, when you learn to validate, soothe, and value yourself, you stop outsourcing those needs to someone else's potential. Loving a fantasy is like falling in love with an actor on stage. You applaud the role, but not the person. But the curtain has fallen now. The actor has walked off. What's left is an empty stage, and it's time for you to step into the spotlight of your own life. It wasn't love, it was longing dressed up in hope. And the moment you see that clearly, you take your power back. The fantasy ends, but your real life finally begins.